Alright, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. 06/28, October the 8th. Today's topic is the right way to open up. I think a lot of guys and girls get this part wrong, and it's not their fault. Just nobody has ever explained to them that there's kind of a right way and kind of a wrong way to go about talking to some friends and family and mental health professionals. Likewise, if you have to open up to your employer or anybody like that for any reason, which you shouldn't have to, and you don't by law, but if you do. Basically, what I'm getting at is when somebody is asking somebody in a crisis or someone that's having mental health issues, well, do you have thoughts of this? Do you have thoughts of that? Before you even go into that place, think about a way to articulate the way that you're feeling specifically. And if it is if it's just blunt, like, I want to kill myself, okay, find a way to explain to them what is it in your life that makes you want to take your own life. So, because what's going to happen is if you go in and just start blasting off at the mouth, they're going to take your shoestrings. And that's going to be a traumatic experience for you. And that's not what you need on top of, i.e., trying to process other traumatic events that happened to you in your life. Opening up to friends and family. Do not make the mistake of trying to paint them a picture too much to the point to where you say something that you might not really mean at that moment, because feelings change about things. You go to sleep and wake up and be like, oh my God, I can't believe I told them that last night. And it might change their opinion or view of you forever. But the most important one to me is talking to these VA counselors, and then for ratings as well, talking to those people. People go into these places and they go, well, man, they denied me my claim or whatever. I'm like, okay, well, what did you, when they asked you this, and this, what did you tell? Oh, I told them, I'm nothing that, I'm just mad and I just this and that. Okay, well, this is why you got denied. You didn't open up in a way that met the 5 DSM, I think that's the acronym, standard for post-traumatic stress disorder, because you let your pride, the very first video, get in the way, and or you were scared to open up, get in the way of telling said individual what's really going on in your life. If you're worried about them taking your shoestrings, like I just said, find a way to articulate how you are feeling and give some reasons behind that. And remember, you can scare these people. So you might go in there and think, oh, well, I'm going to get this rating, or I'm fixing to do this. Look at here. Tell you, you play like that and you can find yourself in a padded room fast, and it's not going to be what you thought it was. Then you are going to be in a real mental health crisis, because you're going to be somewhere that you can't leave for the next 72 hours unless you demonstrate some normal behavior. It's just some food for thought. But if you really do need help, do not be scared to tell them what's really going on. Yeah, they might, put you in an acute floor or put you on an acute floor right then, but maybe that's what you need. So don't hold back from telling certain individuals how you're feeling. Just find a proper way to do it. I once had a very good friend of mine tell me it's called hiding your crazy. So you can explain to people how you're feeling, what you've been through and all this, but you don't have to do it in a way that it's like you're trying to bring them into there or trying to convince them that you are this, depressed person, ate up with PTSD, alcoholic, or suicidal, whatever it is that you're going through. You don't have to convince them, but at the same time, if you don't open up properly and tell the truth, you're not going to meet the requirements for said thing, and they're not going to help you. And then that's where a lot of guys and girls get frustrated, and then they're still out here suffering, and they had all the criteria that to meet, they had all the proper stuff to meet the criteria, but because they weren't honest, they didn't get the help they needed. And I think a lot of guys and girls fall through the crack like that a lot. I've been guilty of that before. I went in there and been like, oh no, I don't have any, homicidal or suicidal thoughts. I just get real angry in traffic and, I punch stuff or whatever it was that I told them, to not get Baker acted or whatever they call it nowadays. And get my shoestrings taken, because I've had that happen before, and it is pretty traumatic. And I do want to save somebody else from having to go through that, because you can get the same help, and it doesn't have to be like that. They will go a totally different way about it, depending on how you convey your feelings about what's going on about it. So if you're very, articulate, very thought out, very realistic with why you're having suicidal problems, the symptoms that you're having from PTS, the status of where your life is right now, and how you truly feel, then you're not going to get said help, and or they're not going to treat you the same as somebody that does come in there with a different state of mind. They're gonna be nicer to you. There's gonna be a lot more pleasurable experience, because I've done it both ways. I'm sorry, but it's true. I've done it both ways. And likewise, once you get in there, hey, just chill. Like, I understand that life is falling apart for some guys and girls at that moment, because I was there and my life was falling apart. And I'm telling you that I made the worstest mistake that I could make by wilding out the whole time. Like, I let my PTS drive my bus while I was in there, up until the point to where they were basically like, if you don't stop, we're just going to put you out on the street and, whatever, write your congressman, do whatever you got to do, but we don't have to keep you. And I was like, okay. And I was like, well, let me think about that, because I was really going to go toe-to-toe with them and fight it. And they can refuse you treatment, man, or they can just offer you a third-party option based off of your behavior. So don't think that it can't, you can't show your ass enough to where they don't want to mess with you no more. They don't want to help you, because you wouldn't want to help you showing your ass. So just, guys and girls, open up. Oh, and one more other thing. Make sure you read that person that you're about to open up to. So I'm not telling you to manipulate anything. What I'm telling you is that that person looks like they are fresh out of college. They're a female, a guy that doesn't weigh, more than 150 pounds. I know I'm kind of discriminating here, but I'm trying to tell y'all good information. A brittle old lady, been a psychiatrist. Look, check it out. That lady that's a brittle old psychiatrist lady, she's seen it all. She's done it all. You're not impressing her. She's not scared of you. All right? Those other new ones, or those other little people, or those people that meet a certain category, you will terrify them to death, and you're not going to feel very good about it after you do it. And they've got a little red button underneath their desk that they can, and guess what? Somebody's going to come, and they're going to detain you. So just remember, when you're getting crazy with these people, if you were thinking about going home that day, you might not, and find yourself on an acute floor because you couldn't articulate or couldn't curve your emotions to get your point across, or to relay this information to said provider in enough manner. And I get it. They ask questions that piss you off on purpose, I feel like sometimes. They're overworked, so it seems like they don't care. I get all that, but you can't let those factors dictate how you treat them, because at the end of the day, you're going to be the one sitting on a psych ward, can't go home for 72 hours. They're going to go home that night. And that's not how you planned on all of it to go. You want help, but that ain't the help that you wanted. So, and same with like opening up to bosses and stuff like that. Hey man, if your boss is a real cool dude, y'all drink together or whatever, y'all smoke together, whatever y'all do, that's one thing. Hey, you want to kick it with him, telling him some more stories or whatever, or telling him about some, this or that. Hey, that's on you. That's all good. I've done it. It's all good. But do know this. Do not be surprised if that person isn't as cool about it as you thought they were and they treat you different after you tell them that. And or they treat you different in another way, which is, not necessarily a bad way, but make you feel some type of way, good or bad. And it, it just mess up some stuff. So just be careful who you open up to, and how you do it. Don't hold anything back if you're at a provider, but do not take it out on them either, because they can for 72 hours put you in a timeout that you probably didn't intend to take that day, or for them 3 days. But ladies and gentlemen, I love you guys, and I didn't tell y'all. I'm gonna cover some real quick stuff real quick. I know I'm pushing over 10 minutes. Everybody that has donated, thank you so much. Everybody that ends up donating, thank you so much. I appreciate it. This cause, y'all know it's a good cause. Anybody that's watching this, most guys from 3187, I appreciate the crap out of it. I appreciate the support about this specific thing and topic, because it is serious, guys. And I know no amount of money that we raise will stop somebody from harming themselves. But if this just does one thing and helps us communicate amongst ourselves better, to open up to maybe rely on each other more for some mental health, aspects rather than the VA, and or be there to lean on for one another and not judge one another so much, man, or not be scared to talk to one another for whatever reason. Likewise, recording location has been compromised, I believe. 2 days in a row that I have been there, they have got a hellacious pool pump on at 06 that they haven't had for a whole week going. That's why yesterday's video, the audio was spotty and low on there. I apologize for that. But yeah, I hope y'all have a good Friday, and I'll see y'all tomorrow.